of U.S. television, but you can just type in U.S. troops protect poppies or protect opium into YouTube or Google. You will get BBC, CBS, ABC, and they just show the reporters going, in a new policy, and this is the last 5 years, we help grow it. We don't discuss where it's shipped. It's freedom. So they're publicly, I'm not kidding, I know it's crazy. They ship it here, and then when they catch people using it, they throw them in prisons owned by the very banks that launder the drug money. So it's a new level of drug dealing where they actually, the drug dealers actually put you in their prisons. But so obviously they want to stay there. You know, it's about the hundreds of billions of street value a year, as you said, 90% of opium production. But where is it going now that they've attacked this base? Now that the Russians are doing this, where do you see the situation in Afghanistan going as resistance mounts as we go into the 11th year coming up?
Yes. Now, this is a very precarious situation, and I said that China has also come out strongly in favor of Pakistan. And I described to you that China, over time, may become to Pakistan like America is to Israel. So Pakistan will have no choice than to come under the umbrella of China. And China obviously is not disinterested with the amount of money they have, and they're flexing their muscles here and there. And this would keep India on the wrong side of history, because India is being backed by America, and America is losing the war. They are losing their image, and they are being threatened from now all directions. I think look at the timings in which they have attacked Pakistani posts. It means they have hurt themselves more than anyone can hurt them. But at a time when 10,000 troops were to be withdrawn by 31st of December. So what happens to that? Because there was an attempt to find a face-saving formula by going to the Bonn. Earlier on there was Istanbul. And what happened to Istanbul? It was a fiasco. And now it was Bonn, and Bonn is no-go without Pakistan's participation. So the net result is that you have lost so much diplomatically, politically. Already economic loss is very much staring you in the eyes. And now you have strategically beginning to lose. So this is a very difficult situation for America today. I think if they don't set their bearings right, it is going to hurt them a lot more than it appears at the moment.
But let me stop you, General, because, look, I mean, I know you're sophisticated and the Pakistani people are sophisticated, but we have been seized by the big six megabanks. They are imploding Europe and bragging that Goldman Sachs, the main Federal Reserve owner, has conquered Europe through fraud. That's in our news. They are militarizing the police. They are setting up checkpoints in America. They are saying they can arrest us, torture us publicly now. I mean, this is some of the most brazen tyranny ever seen being publicly announced like it's no big deal. So clearly, the folks in Pakistan need to know America has been seized by a global criminal interest that wants to destroy America's name, that wants to destroy Pakistan. And I don't know how worldwide we fight such a threat that works through hijacked nations playing them off against each other.
Yeah, it's the sinister element, the dark element in American society, which has seeped deep into, and they have gotten control and clout over all the policy making, is somehow now so strong, you may have to fight for your freedom afresh. So it is amazing that such a lot of things are happening, and the American people are still not. There is no movement like moratorium way back in the days of President Nixon. There has to be a movement. The people of America have to rise against their own policies, against these coercive elements which are trying to destroy the American dream. They are trying to destroy everything. They are trying to somehow rail against their own best friends in the world. Pakistan has been their best friend. Pakistan has paid such a huge price. And Pakistan has done so much for America. People seem to have forgotten that. And this is a situation in which America seems to be on self-destruct. But it is not because of the American people, who are very innocent and very nice, very humane, very nice people to begin with. I think they respect democracy, they respect the human rights of other people as much as they respect their own rights. Then who is doing all this? We generally know who is there. But this confederation of, I would say, thugs and swindlers, cheats, this is now getting the upper hand, unfortunately, and they are, as you very rightly said, they're destroying America and they're destroying the world.
Well, yes, sir. The main financial advisor to Obama is Corzine, the former governor of New Jersey, the former head of Goldman Sachs. He made a 40-to-1 bet with MF Global money just to show the reckless psychology of these people. And when it didn't go well, the government allowed him to take private bank accounts and brokerage accounts of people in sub-companies that MF Global had bought. And I've had financial experts on. The news admits it's illegal, but the government's going to let them do this. I mean, that's what's scary, is that when you realize these swindlers and bank fraud people that run everything, they don't know military tactics. They're losing touch. And it's been multiple U.S. generals, Admiral Fox Fallon and others, who refused to attack Iran, who refused to attack. The only reason we didn't do this earlier. I mean, that's what I'm saying, is these people are insane, and I don't know how we get rid of them, minus another George Washington 1776.
Yes, absolutely. But look at the character of the generals at this time who are in office, in charge at this moment in Afghanistan. If they play along with these elements, as I described, the dark elements, the sinister elements within the American policy-making body, then I think they are not being loyal to their own country. They are not doing their duty, because you have to always weigh the cause and effect. What is the cause and what is going to be the effect? And on that scale, they are net losers. America is a net loser. So why are they doing things which will eventually put America in a hole? This is a very peculiar situation which has to be handled and which has to be addressed by the people of America. Nobody else can chastise them other than the American people themselves.
General Hamid Gul is our guest for another 10 minutes, and we appreciate him giving us time here today. Very busy person. I mean, really, when you study psychology, you study history, as a general, as a former head of a famous intelligence agency who was very successful defeating the KGB, NKVD, the Russian military, all of them, you have to know the enemy. So looking at your enemy, the global megabanks, my enemy, the global megabanks, this global corporate globalism, they do want to destroy America while using us to carry out the next phase of their operation. They've moved our industry to China, so it is part of a larger double cross. They're going to implode America just like Europe next, but they want a war in the middle of that. Knowing the enemy, and that's the key, as you know, to winning a war and having supply lines, you know, those two paramount peaks together, those twin peaks. What concerns me, General, is now I see delusion in the elite. There's still a strategy, and I see the gambits, but it doesn't make sense in the end. Even if command destruction, order out of chaos is their overall excuse, it isn't going to work. I mean, the Russians now are threatening to start attacking countries. And the history shows the Russians will do things like that. I mean, this is so dangerous. Getting into the minds of these people, I know you've tried to do that probably. What do you think's driving them right now? What's driving Israel? What's driving the big banks? What's driving England?
Greed and fear. Greed and fear. There is a fear in Israel, there is fear in India that if the Americans leave and the Americans, they will be standing absolutely perched on the wrong sides of history. And as far as the banks are concerned and corrupt corporate America, corrupt corporate Europe, the corporate world is despicable. Now this really is tantamount to virtually, if you translate it, its spirit, that means corruption. So they are so corrupt that now you can't retrieve them. You've got to demolish them because you have to survive. The nations have to survive. America has to survive. It is important that America survives. Then these elements have to be cut out. There has to be surgical operation against them.
Well, they're certainly waging war against free humanity and every basic liberty and overthrowing the entire Bill of Rights and Constitution right now. But I guess in the final equation, General, the good news is everything that they're touching is turning to garbage.
Yes, indeed, it is, because this act of 4 days ago when they struck our security post on the border, I think this has really turned the scale against them. And now they can't, now it has to be reckoned with. You have to be now, you have come to a point where it's a tilt point, and you've got to change your ways. And you've got not to listen to those people who have been putting America in the wrong track, on the wrong posse.
Now, could there be another strategy? I mean, it looks like a bungle, but could the strategy be try to create political discord to destabilize the government of Pakistan as a desperate fleeing forward to start a new war with Pakistan? I mean, could this be conscious? Because they've done this, 3 or 4 times now in the last year, killing Pakistani troops, correct?
My dear Alex, if this was the design, then I think it has failed miserably, because it has put the American, the Pakistani government and Pakistan armed forces on the same page. If there was any daylight on account of this famous memo that was written by Hussein Haqqani, our ambassador in America, there was a daylight between the armed forces, the establishment, and the political government. But that is gone now. With this one act, the Americans have really brought the whole nation, alerted them. Everybody is out on the streets. People are shouting against America. There was already no love lost for American policies. But now I think it has really crossed all limits.
In closing, what's your view on an Iran strike? Israel's moving their Jericho missiles into firing position. My intel from people in U.S. intelligence is currently the green light's on. What's your take on that?
No, they will never do that. They can't defeat Iran. They have 278 sites which they will have to be taken out. That is impossible. Then 60% of oil supplies of the world can be cut off in a couple of days by Iran. No way that they can win this. It will be a sheer madness, and America must take clear of this. If Israel wants to do it, leave them, tell them, give them the warning. If you do it, go it alone, then we will not be with you. It's your business. You want to do it. And they were rubbed so badly in south of Lebanon in 2006. How dare they do it if the Americans don't give go-ahead to them?
Well, yes, that's what Mullen, when he left, told him don't do it, it's crazy. Panetta's told him it's crazy. The former head of Mossad, they removed him because he said it was crazy just a year ago. And that's what I'm being told. Everyone's telling him it's crazy. It's going to unify all the Arabs, all of the Persians, all of the Central Asians. Don't do it. But Netanyahu thinks he's going to be like Churchill and that it's going to make America come to his aid.
I think he should be summoned to America and put through a psychiatrist test. I think this man is psycho. He has got to be reined in for the love of this world, for the love of freedom, for the love of people of America and the rest of the world.
Well, if everybody, even in the establishment, is smart enough to tell him not to do this, we do know there's covert bombings going on against the facilities right now in Iran. That's now basically being admitted. What's your view on Iran just taking this?
No, Iran is showing restraint, and I think it's just as well. But I was in Iran only a month back, and I found that nation is unperturbed about all the threats which are being dished out to them. They are united, and whatever there was a little fissure politically in the society, that immediately has disappeared after the threat from Israel, and they have closed their ranks. Now they are even more united than before. So really, I don't know. I don't think Israel will do that. I hope not. I hope not. I really, for sake of humanity and for the future of mankind, I hope this never happens.
All right, General Hamid Gul, thank you so much for spending time with us. Hopefully you can update us as big developments take place, and I hope we can all have peace and friendship worldwide between Americans and Pakistanis. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Alex. Bye-bye.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
A very very wealthy U.S. citizen is predicting that in 2011, we will witness the most important day in America in more than 50 years. He says it will change everything about our lives. The way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and your own family. Now, this man has made some outrageous predictions over the years. The crazy part is, he's usually right. You see, he predicted the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties. In fact, Barron's called his work a dire prophecy. Recently, he created a video, which you can watch online for free, detailing his biggest and most important prediction yet. And it's a real eye-opener. I can't stress this enough. You should at least watch this free video online today. He explains everything you need to know, including simple steps you can take to protect yourself. You can find the video at www.endofamerica3.com.